Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful 5th of July, 2022. Coming up this episode of the Crusty Canuck podcast, episode 180. More mandates on the way. Yes, Health Canada projecting that every 9 months we should get another, what, for the sake of safety, and some updates on the Tamara Lich issue. All that more coming to the podcast. Please stick around. Listener and viewer discretion is advised. Yeah.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me. Yes, sir. There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast, a Canadian veteran's point of view on political, social, economic issues and life. Here's Crusty.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Crusty Canuck podcast. I'm your host, Crusty Canuck. Yes, it's a beautiful 5th of July, 2022. Yes, I just heard recently in the news that the health officials of this country are considering probably this fall that we get ourselves another update. That's what they're calling it affectionately. Now, I'll post an article here from the Calgary Sun in regards to said updates and issues, but I'm going to use this episode just to basically say things off the top of my head. How many more fucking mandates do we need? Eh? How many more? How many more mandates are going to tell us what to stick in our bodies, what to stick up our noses, what to stick up our butts, when to go to work, when not to go to work? Now, can you not see, ladies and gentlemen, how things are starting to get a little coinky-dink here? You know what I mean? A little coinky-dink in regards to what's going to happen here, what's going to happen there. You know, we can't travel here because our airports are screwed up. Right? Had an issue with gasoline. It's getting ridiculous. Food costs are going up. Everything we touch is going up. And now they want to mandate more of those jibby jab things for us to take because 2 is not enough anymore. Right? So I remember a year ago, I was reluctant to even get any kind of jabs whatsoever, but I did it for my wife because she has a condition, and I did it for my father because he's in his 70s. Out of respect for the 2 people that I love most in the world, I did it for them. And I didn't want to. Now, did I feel any side effects from said jibs? No. Did I feel any kind of issues from them? No. Maybe I'm lucky. Knock on wood. Maybe I'm lucky. I don't know, but you tell me. Now, there's reports out there you can find online. People who are getting sick. People have received some really worse conditions from their inoculations per se, but I don't know. Now, when the government tells me that I must do something for the sake of safety, we can all be speculative, right? Because we have been speculative big time. So bend over, kids. Here it comes again. You know what I mean? Why? Why are you protecting us? Do you think you're protecting us from something here? Right? This country has gone into so much debt because of the beer bug. So we're told. You know, how much spending has been sent to other countries in regards to helping them out? How much money has been sent to China and helping them out with PPE and all that good stuff? Right? Excuse me. But I think you catch my drift here, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to more mandates coming down our way. Because last summer here in Alberta, there were a lot of restrictions lifted. And then last fall, like clockwork, bang, everything's locked up again. People getting fines, people getting ticketed. So let's say the majority of Canadians say no to a 3rd or 4th or 5th inoculation. What's going to happen then? Are you going to charge us a fine like Quebec tried to do? Are you going to raid our bank accounts like you did to the truckers in February? Right? Are you going to give us another effing fucking hard time for protesting those mandates? Are you going to call that an illegal protest? Right? What's the verdict here? Now, are you doing this for the sake of our safety or doing it for the sake of control, saying that you're doing us a favor? Okay. Now, a lot of this podcast, ladies and gentlemen, is just off the top of my head, and I've got a few articles to back up my claim here. Andrew Lawton at True North did a great podcast in regards to the mandates that are supposedly might be coming down. I'll put an article from the Toronto Sun and his video in my description for you guys to like and enjoy and all that good stuff. But you decide. You, my listeners and viewers out there, you decide. Okay? Because the more and more I watch the mainstream media and other news sources too, in regards to what's going on with the whole issue, it seems like a deterrent. And I made an episode about that too, deflections about the war in Ukraine and what's going on here. And enough is enough, honestly. How many more times do we have to sit in our hands and live in fear for these clowns? Okay. We have a parliament that wants to promote more Zoom meetings, which I did in another episode, right? Governance by Zoom. Sounds like a fragrance or something you put on your feet now, doesn't it? Eh? Governance by Zoom. Oh, sounds lovely. Just goddamn lazy. Okay. And now they want to do more governance with more of these bloody things coming at you. So where's this one going to go? Up our tuchus? Probably. Bend over. Here it comes.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And once again, gentlemen, if you like and hear what you see, please click like, subscribe, and share this content all around your social media platforms. Help us independent guys get our algorithm out there so other people can watch and enjoy it at their own leisure. You can also find me too on Twitter, Facebook, Rumble, Instagram, YouTube, Getter, and Podbean. You can also find my podcast on Amazon and Player FM, ladies and gentlemen. So please give that a shot. And if you want to donate, please consider donating. Go to crustycanuck.ca. Donation links are there for the Buy Me a Coffee, PayPal, and my other links as well. So please check me out there. Anyway, carrying on again with more of the whole, more mandates on the way. Now, I'm not saying mandates on the way. Don't quote me on it. But they're projecting that every 9 months we should get an update because the vaccine's not strong enough or this isn't strong enough, whatever. The way I look at it is nothing but more bloody control. Okay? More goddamn control. I, for one, as a blue-collar Canadian, and I say that proudly, a blue-collar Canadian because I work for a living, okay? A lot of my friends still work for a living. A lot of my veteran friends work in other jobs for a living. I still have members of the military that I'm in touch with that still work and give their 100% all the effing time. Just to be told, once again, more mandates are on the way. For those of you not accustomed to a military lifestyle, there's mandates, rules, regulations all the time. You get used to it. You get structure, you get discipline, all that good stuff. But there comes a time in your career and in your life too. Enough is enough. Like, honestly, right? You've got all these mass shootings happening in the United States and some dribbles of it coming up here too. That weirdo in Chicago killed 7 people on the rooftop. Apparently, he was dressed like a female the whole time he was doing it, too. And if you actually look at the picture of that guy, he looks like some kind of kid who auditioned for Stranger Things and just didn't get the job, right? Now, I'm not trying to diss what a person looks, but it doesn't look too happy. It looks a bit psychotic, if you know what I'm saying, right? People are getting mad. People are getting frustrated. It doesn't matter if you're in Canada, United States, Britain, Germany. People are getting fed up with this garbage leadership we have. And it doesn't matter if you voted Democrat or Republican in the States. It doesn't matter if you voted conservative or liberal or NDP or green meanies or half-assed buckle my shoe party here in Canada. People are getting fed up, getting tired. And the more and more the government tries turning more of the screws, the more we got to rip out the screws and give it back to them. Honestly, how many more mandates do we got to live with? How many more days out of the week we got to sacrifice for the sake of this? Or how many more dollars of our paychecks have to go down the drain because of inflation? It's a worldwide phenomenon. It's bullshit. It's a con, and we're getting played. And enough is enough. Okay? Sick and tired of having to wait in line to do things. I would like to see my family on the east side of the country, but because of the airport fiasco, people are up in arms. Oh, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? When we bloody well know it's the transportation authority in this country that's not doing a goddamn thing about it, right? When they pushed the mandates the first couple of times, there were people that are getting frustrated. People were getting fired. People were getting fined. There were a lot of people that left the airline services. There are a lot of people that left the bigger airline service and said, see ya, sayonara, I'm out of here. I'm going to go and work for a company that's not going to mandate this BS to me, right? There's a report there in Rebel Media about WestJet employees. About 100 of them were laid off because of mandates. So there's a problem right there. You take the 3 bigger airports in this country, you do the math, who was laid off and who was threatened to be fired. Same thing with the border security. Same thing with all the other bureaucracies too. And now they're sitting there saying, oh, this airport's backed up. We need help. What you need to do is hire back the people again with no penalties. That's what you need to do. You need to rehire those individuals that you threatened, tell them to come back, all is forgiven, and they might consider it. Because that's what happens when you treat people like people. They tend to respond like people, not like animals. But you want to sit there and thump your mandates and your proletariat BS. Well, you're either going to barfed on or pissed on.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And just a reminder, too, ladies and gentlemen, the Crusty Canuck podcast is brought to you by free speech. More important than your feelings. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's the idea of free speech. More important than your feelings. And also by the fine people at Dark Horse Entrepreneur. That's right. Talk to Tracy Brinkman in regards to Dark Horse Entrepreneur, darkhorseschooling.com. With Tracy Brinkman. He will show you the finer points of promoting and putting together your podcast and give you some good tips on how do you make your podcast profitable. That's right. Tracy Brinkman at darkhorseschooling.com. Links will be in the description after this episode. And once again, just a reminder too, brought to you by Free Speech. More important than your feelings, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. I'm your host, Crusty, back here again on the airwaves for you and your listening pleasure. Back to Sexy Radio. Sorry, I had a brain fart there. I'm not talking sexy radio today. I'm just speaking my mind as any Canadian should, ladies and gentlemen, as you should too, as my American friends, my British friends, my German friends, people that have watched this podcast from all over the world. I actually got a couple interesting emails from a couple of people in Vietnam, of all places. So thank you very much. Hello, Vietnam. How are you doing over there? All that good stuff. I know you're a communist country. I don't know what the freedoms are, what you're allowed to do. But obviously, you watch my show, so I guess you're allowed to watch this Crusty Canuck and have a good time. And we're carrying on again with more of these mandates. So what do you think the government is going to do if people would protest in the streets against these mandates too? Would it be an illegal protest if some of us Canucks actually took to the streets waving our flags? I like to remind some of the snowflakes out there too that the maple leaf behind me is not a racist flag. Okay? So I encourage all Canadians to wave their flag proudly and do it to the best of your ability. And whatever nationality you have, wave that flag too, to the best of your ability. Because I am a firm believer in diversity in this country, but I'm also a firm believer in diversity of thought too, ladies and gentlemen. Thought and ideas. How can we build this to make this better? How can we fix this to make it better? None of this build back better bullshit. Let's make it better, okay? How do you build something back? Do you tear up a road and relay the asphalt? Do you tear down the house and re-pour the foundation? Do you take the transmission out of a car and give it a push and promise of a kiss and a reach around and hope for the best? No. You fix things. Here's something we can fix right now. Putting more of these leaders on the effing spot. Okay? Putting more of these bureaucrats on the effing spot and call them out on their garbage. Any more mandates, you're going to hurt a hell of a lot more than you already have. That's my projection. Honestly, right? Look at all the businesses in this country alone, in this province of Alberta alone, that went belly up because of the mandates. And it doesn't matter if it's a conservative government, liberal government, NDP government, or the 1-2 buckle my shoe party. Shitheads calling the shot. That's what they've done. And no pun there in regards to the shot or the jibby jab. You know, as a as a fan of mine, Glenn Meredith likes to say, jibby jab, right? What's it going to prove? How many more millions of dollars are going to be invested in these companies that prove that you have to get a shot every 9 months? You would think it would work at least to a year, would it not? Like said, flu shot. You know, the individuals get their flu shots every year to protect them from the dirty flu. And then what? I know. I'll let you decide, ladies and gentlemen. You know, your body, your choice. I'm a firm believer in that. Your body, your choice. I may disagree with certain medical procedures. I may disagree with certain choices. But it's up to you, the individual, to make that choice and to live with it. Whether you do something or don't do something. Ladies and gentlemen, I smoke cigarettes. Oh, my goodness. You're going to die of lung cancer. Probably. But I'm going to die happier than I was, let's say, 10 years ago. Because I made the sound decision to live my life to the best of my ability on my fucking terms. As should you. On your terms, ladies and gentlemen. Not the government's, not your employers, on yours. That effing simple. But can we do that? No. Can artists go out and create some wonderful music? Sure, some of them can too. Still, hopefully. Can painters do the same thing? Dancers? Banjo players? Fiddle players? Guitar players, cellists, flautists, professionals in the oboe. Yes, they can. And I encourage them to do it all too, all artists. There's a Cynthian artist that I really, really come to admire over the past few months. And she does incredible work. Her name is Nina. And I'll leave a link in the description for you to follow. She just writes some really, really cool songs. And when I'm feeling really shitty, I listen to her music and it just kind of, boom, charges me up fantastically, you know, in such a way. It takes me back to when I was younger, and she's got a real amazing gift to captivate the listener with her voice, with the way she plays her keys, just all around. All I can say is, wow, great music. Anyway, I'm going off topic here too, but like I say, I'll leave a link in the description for you guys to follow too. But in the same sense, we're getting backed into corners again, ladies and gentlemen. We're being backed into a corner yet again. Got to be on our toes. Got to live our life in fear. Got to live our life in chaos and worry. And what gets me is that half of these politicians, or I'm sorry, at least 2/3 of these leaders that make these decisions for us, okay? I don't think they understand what chaos really is. I don't think they understand what they're causing because they're not looking at long-term effects. They're not. Not looking at long-term effects at all, right? Not at all. But we're going to have to do better, and we're going to have to put these people into question. And we're going to have to fight, I think. As much as I hate to use the word violence, because there are a group of people out there that think when you use bad words, it means you're being violent. So obviously they don't know what's coming, and they're not going to be ready for it.
Stay updated and follow Crusty Canuck on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram, YouTube, and Podbean. Subscribe today and donate at crustycanuck.ca.
And that's right, ladies and gentlemen, too. Please check out the Crusty Canuck shop at customizedgirl.com. You get yourself a nice fancy t-shirt like this, or a mug like this, or whatever, and then, you know, enjoy there too. Please help the podcast out by checking out customizedgirl.com/Crusty Canuck gear shop today and find yourself some good Crusty Canuck swagger. And just another reminder too, ladies and gentlemen, this is brought to you by Free Speech, more important than your feelings. That is right. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Yes. What a better way to live your life and do what's right for you and your fellow Canadian or fellow American or fellow democratic citizen out there, right? Free speech is more important, and we need the free speech. So regardless of what they're projecting with C11 or not, what they're projecting with all these other little bills they want to pass under the table, you know, a little slap and tickle here and there, you know, well, that's all right. I'll get you this if you give me that. We know how it works, right? Okay, no more. Stand up for free speech. Speak your mind to the best of your effing abilities, ladies and gentlemen. All right? That's what we have to do. That's what we should do. That's what we must do. That's what we must maintain. That is what I fought for. That is what my grandparents fought for. And that is what we should still fight for, ladies and gentlemen. Freedom of expression is essential, paramount regardless how you feel about it or not, right? I've had debates with people saying, oh my goodness, if you say this, there's consequences. If you say or do anything, there's always a good and bad consequence. That's nothing new. You step in an elevator, you let one rip, there's some consequences, right? But if you got to go, you got to go. So, hey, what can I say? Other than that's the truth. There's no such thing as your truth or their truth. There is the utmost truth. And the truth is freedom of expression is essential, right? Well, it's not a joke, but it's true. It's that simple. Anyway, again, with the whole more mandates on the way, no. And I encourage people to say no. If it means you have to stand outside a provincial office, doesn't matter if it's your rep, it doesn't matter if it's a government office or a courthouse, wave the flag and say no more. No more mandates. Enough. Open up the roads, open up the resources, open up the floodgates of the economy. Let free enterprise reign. Let's get rid of this inflation by getting people back to work, enjoying and promoting ideas on how to save us from the climate catastrophe. Oh my goodness. Pollution's bad. I get it, but we got to start with the people. And I have to say, hats off to the farmers in Holland there too, who are protesting. Right? There are people out there that believe that beef is bad. It's terrible. You should try the old Beyond Meat and the whole soy burger. It's so much better for you. Yeah. Well, like last episode, I mentioned that I gave a patty to my friend's dog. And the dog didn't look too pleased. So if a dog is not going to eat it, what's that tell you, right? Stay away from it. It's that simple. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, I have done my rant for the day in regards to the mandates and the whole jibby jabs and the political BS. Miss Tamara Litch, though, she's been arrested again. One of the organizers of the Freedom Convoy. I'll have links in my description about her too. She was picked up in Medicine Hat for bail conditions, apparently, because she was seen in a photograph with one of her convoy reps and everything. But apparently she was allowed to be in that picture as long as there was legal counsel with her, and legal counsel was with her. But needless to say, she was picked up in Medicine Hat, taken to Ottawa, and she's still sitting in jail as we speak. Now, there was supposed to be a bail hearing today for the 5th. And of course, the justice postponed it until Friday. So another 3 days, this lady's got to sit in another jail cell. She already spent 3 weeks in jail at the end of February until mid-March, given restrictions on what she can say and what she can do. And then all of a sudden, the Ottawa police were sent to Medicine Hat to pick her up, to rearrest her because of her mischief problems, whatever that means, and sent back to Ottawa again. So it tells you that our legal system in this country is really, really flawed, considering that all of the missing persons, especially missing Indigenous persons, that's male and female alike. That's just not women. There are quite a bit of missing male Indigenous men, too, that are gone, that are off the grid someplace, been taken, been killed, whatever. Right? And considering the illegal gun traffic that's been plaguing this country for a while, too. Right? They can't get their shit together when it comes to the above mentioned, but they can automatically hop on a plane and grab a 5'0" woman who is a mother and a grandmother, a musician, and she works for a living, and take her ass to court for a mischief charge. A mischief charge, ladies and gentlemen. Put that in perspective. She didn't set fire to anything, didn't set explosives off anywhere, didn't damage any railway tracks, didn't burn any churches, but she was being mischievous during the convoy. Right? Organizing for freedom. That's simple. So it just goes to show where things are going. But, as far as I know, she's in good spirits. She's doing well. And we'll have to see Friday what the verdict will be for the sake of her freedom. Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, I have been Crusty Canuck on this beautiful 5th of July, 2022. I will be up and running again, probably another 10 days. My work cycle begins again tomorrow. So, but I'll keep you posted and I'll keep you updated as best I can. You can follow my updates via YouTube and Facebook too. And if you do see my video on YouTube and Facebook and other social media sites, please click like, subscribe, and comment. The comments help with the algorithm. So please Keep sending comments my way if you can, or you can send me an email at crustybcanuck67@gmail.com. That's crustybc, small case letter B, canuck67@gmail.com. All the information being in the description too. I'll leave my mailing address there too. So if you want to send me a letter or a note or a card or a kind gesture or two or some cool swagger or some free stuff, by all means, feel free to mail what you'd like to that address too. But like I say, ladies and gentlemen, I have been Crusty Canuck on this beautiful 5th of July. It's raining outside right now where I'm living, so that's good for the grass and good for some of the crops out there. However, I didn't plant a garden this year, no time, so we'll have to, think of other things to bring me to paradise. But I know my wife and I will stocking away in some dry goods and getting ourselves sorted out as we speak. And you should too, ladies and gentlemen. Do what you can, help each other in these trying times. Watch each other's back and stand tall, stand proud for who you are and what you want to accomplish. You are your best friend right now. And there's nothing wrong with sharing the emotional wealth out there with people too. Trying to be kind, trying to be decent to each other, enjoy some good music and some good wine, and do what you can to help each other out, ladies and gentlemen. Because humanity merit wins the day. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Hit it, sweetheart. Because I am hard, you will not like me. Yes, sir. There is no racial bigotry here. Here you are all equally worthless.
This has been another episode of the Crusty Canuck podcast. Stay sane and thank you for listening. From Western Canada, this is the Crusty Canuck podcast.
Mama said I had a face for radio.